Right. Okay. So the agenda for today is Vaidio. Doug will go through the Vaidio marketing. I think most of you have gone to our website and see the rebranding and the relaunching of the AI product line under Vaidio, and we'll go through the general changes, not changes, but actually the update on the Vaidio appliance, and we'll talk about the main actually really exciting event here is we want to share with you the 4.2 release that just came out last month, and yeah, some major enhancement features. So I'll have my director of product marketing, product line management go through that, and we'll give you a quick demo, and also we'll discuss the 4.2 calculator. So it will enable you to do um, the configuration and setting, and also the pricing for your customers. Okay. With that, we're going to get started. Feel free to type in, I think on the text box, you can type in questions, and we'll collect the questions at the end for Q&A.
Right. That sounds really good, Paul. Pulling this agenda in, I think what I'd like to do on the marketing side, I think you're all familiar with the biggest things in marketing, which is our website, our branding, and our new partner portal, which has a lot of new Vaidio branded material, along with some new calculators. So I think that the meat of today is really on the 4.2 release, the demo, and the calculators. I'll just take over from Paul, just real brief. Oh, Paul.
Want me to stop sharing?
Can you make me host? Can you click on the three buttons by my name and make me host for a second? That'll allow me to share my screen, and then I'll pass that along to Mai.
Yes. 1 second. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to go through what we presented a couple of days ago for an SIA webinar called Return on Security, AI Applications in the Pandemic and Beyond. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I'm doing this really quickly so that you get an understanding of how we are marketing and positioning the Vaidio video intelligence platform. So there's only about 15 slides here. I'll go through them really quickly. First of all, AI is defined as the ability of machines to perform cognitive functions like a human being, like the human mind. It is a transformative technological leap forward, not only in the security space, but actually it's going to be transformative for society as a whole. Instead of programming computers, you now have a generalized strategy for learning and adapting to new inputs. And here's something that's really important. SIA, as a security industry association, is very well aware that China is investing heavily in AI. And their position is that the US government and industry should deepen partnerships and investment to enable breakthrough innovations and enable us to compete with China. This is a critical piece. This is critical positioning for IronYun as a US-based company. Part of our mission is to further this technology and broaden its applications. So the title of this is AI for Security and Beyond. What we're really doing here in terms of we are contributing to this competition, and it really is a key area of economic competition with China. So it's important for us as a US-based company that we are contributing to that by furthering the technology and broadening the application of AI in video analytics. Traditional security applications, you guys are well aware of facial recognition and LPR. But this is a recent RFP that IronYun has received, and you can see it goes well beyond the traditional security applications to crowd counting customers getting on and off a train, privacy protection, and allowing the system to do its work while observing GDPR, vehicle wrong direction, smoke and fire detection, weapon detection, COVID temperature screening, and COVID social distancing screening. So this is actually happening today, where people are asking for a single solution to handle an incredibly broad array of functionality. If you group those broad functions into just a few key areas: people, vehicle, and object counting, social health analytics, weapon, smoke and fire, vehicle make and model, PPE detection, and we're getting a lot of interest in developing video analytics for equipment safety, gauge reading, manufacturing, energy production, leak detection. Kind of the sky's the limit when you have an established platform like we do. The space is getting crowded. IPVM has a directory of 150 video analytics suppliers. Most of them are focused or targeted or limited to a single type of legacy or AI video analytic. If they are based on AI, it's often new, limited in scope, and limited in evolution, whereas established players like IronYun have evolved analytics engines that increase accuracy and evolve the platform so that it supports broader functionality. One of our best case studies, and this is available to you as a standalone slide, or as a group of case study slides, or in our overview decks, where we took an environment with 200 cameras that was experiencing 10 to 12 false alarms per day per camera. We put Vaidio in, same 200 cameras going down to 1 to 9 false alarms per month total. So if you take that as an average, we reduced false positives from about 2,000 per month down to 5 with our 4th generation AI. So that's a specific analytic for intrusion detection or perimeter intrusion detection. Here are the key selling points of the platform. So number one, it supports evolved AI engines to reduce false positives. Number two, it supports a number of discrete AI models and engines that go beyond security to fulfill the market demand of today: safety, health, operations, manufacturing, etc. And the ability to orchestrate across those engines simultaneously so that you can search people, objects, behaviors, vehicles, all at the same time across multiple AI engines. That is a key differentiating capability. Also, the platform is open. It openly integrates with all IP cameras, or essentially all IP cameras, and most VMSs on the marketplace. And it's flexible in its deployment options. You can deploy, our standard way is as an appliance. You can also deploy it in the cloud or deploy it as a service. And the ability to develop new and accurate AI applications within that established platform within a matter of weeks or months. And the last thing I'll say that's not on the slide is, if you deploy a solution for social health screening today, temperature, distancing, occupancy, face mask detection, the platform allows you to repurpose itself once we're beyond a pandemic reality. So you can take that same platform and future-proof that investment and deploy it for social health analytics today, and then repurpose it and swap out analytics and deploy it for security, safety, or operational applications in the future once we're beyond the pandemic. So this is what the platform looks like today. You've got a massive amount of functionality that's built in. When we talk about faces, Mai will stress that our facial recognition engine has now evolved to become even more accurate than even 4.1. So that's something that Mai will talk about in detail. But the guts of the platform, the ability to orchestrate across all of these applications and analytics, search across all of them, openly integrate with most cameras and VMSs, that's really what makes us different and strong. And some of you might not be aware, but we've been deploying our temperature analytics in real world environments, production environments, for a few months now. So here's a case study. There's a manufacturing plant in the Southeast, and they were bottlenecked. They had about 2,000 workers trying to enter the plant every morning. And it took them about an hour and a half before they put Vaidio in. They had to stand in front of a desk or a table that was set up, have a couple of nurses screen people with handheld thermometers while they were coming in. So it took 2,000 people about 90 minutes to enter the building. So you put Vaidio in there for accurate pre-entry temperature screening. People can walk by the camera at normal walking speed, 2 or 3 people at a time, which amounts to about 100 people per minute. There's no need to stand in front of the camera. You can wear a face mask. There's no need for a hardware-based black body to calibrate temperature. You can walk by the camera from anywhere from 5 to 10 to 12 feet. Completely eliminated the bottleneck. What allowed the plant personnel to walk normally into the plant, and so people can enter the plant like in a standard way. And this frame is the actual production environment where we're accurately screening for temperature without causing any delays or bottlenecks. This is our latest integration slide. We recently won the 2020 New Product Showcase Commercial Monitoring Solutions Award from SIA. And at that point, we're ready for the demo. I'm going to stop sharing and see if I can make Mai the host.
Doug, before you do that, I got a couple of other items. Let me talk to it, and then just for 5 minutes, and then we'll have Mai go through the 4.2 release. Okay.
Okay.
So let me share screen. Okay, so thank you, Doug, for the marketing overview. So I would like to reiterate what Doug is talking to on the road, this AI journey that we've been on over the last 6 years. Practically, some of you that has been working with us from the very early days in 2016. If you remember that at the first IIC shows that in 2016, IronYun is probably the lone duck out there talking about AI video analytics and how time has changed. Now it's becoming almost a must-have requirement in any kind of business deployment, application and security. And this is the evolution of this Vaidio platform that we are the 4th generation release 4.2 will be our last release on the version 4. Next year we'll be launching version 5, and there are really many exciting new features that will be industry leading, and would, would definitely want to share with you as we go forward. So this 4.2 release is the last release for the end of the year, and there are quite a few significant enhancements, and we'll go through that shortly. But this kind of show you the extent of how fast and how hard we've been pushing the application of AI video analytics, the platform that you see today. Okay. So with the 4.2 release on the product list, product management side, so we have removed the video search appliance a bundle where we restricted the selling of that appliance pretty much with a fixed configuration. Now, with the 4.2 release, we want to give the user and our partners, and also you the capability to work with the customer and to a la carte select the right configuration of the software and hardware. So this, by totally decoupling the hardware and the software bundle, that we believe that give you the maximum flexibility to meet any kind of a customer's requirements, and I think take a look at that, and there's new product pricing price book that will be released, and let us know of your thoughts, any recommendation that you have to improve it even further. So basically, the hardware and the software, we're giving you total flexibility on pricing it to a specific need. Okay, so with that, I will hand it off to Mai to go through the details on the 4.2 release.
Thank you, Paul. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So as Doug mentioned, our product is constantly evolving. We are now in 4.2 release, which is the last release of this year. And I will focus on the new features and improvements in this release. And I will also do short demos while I'm going through these main points. Okay. So the 5 key new features in our release this time are the hashtag to apply smart tagging to each result, search or object detection or event results, the improved face recognition engine, improved LPR engine, user group and permission control to enhance user management. And finally, there is a new Vaidio app. So what is smart tag or hashtag? The purpose that we're developing this feature in the object detection video search is to allow the user to add hashtag to specific images so that when they find something of interest and then they later want to revisit those results, they don't have to put in the entire search criteria again. It will increase efficiency when you do mainly forensic investigation. And the smart tag will also allow the user to apply third-party hashtags to be searchable in Vaidio via the API. So this is, again, to enhance integration, make it smoother with other solutions, other systems during the investigation or any forensic use cases. So for example, if you are searching for a yellow car or a yellow bus, there will be a lot of results, but not all of those will be a school bus, right? Maybe it's just a normal car that looks yellow. And so in this case, having the hashtag school bus will allow us to search for something for that particular school bus faster without having a specific AI model for the school bus. And similarly, if we have an employee, if we want to search for an employee without a mask, who we know should wear the uniform that of a blue or black color, we can have the normal search with person without mask and wearing blue and black, or we can put in the hashtag no mask and it will return the result just like that next time we search for it. So I'm gonna do a quick demo of that here. I hope you can still see my screen of the user interface for Vaidio. So let's say I want to search for a yellow car, okay? So with all of the cameras that we have connected to this demo server, there should be a lot of results of yellow car. So give it like 3 seconds here. It shows a lot of yellow cars. And as we can see, not all of these are taxis, right? But we want to find only taxis in the London street camera and the New York Times Square cameras, let's say. So if we look at all of these images, let's pick this one. We see there's a yellow car here, and let's say we are interested in only this particular yellow car. It's not a normal yellow car. Then we can add a hashtag to it, like for example, you can add taxi. This is something that I have done before, or I can just add a random hashtag such as spotted yellow car.
Mai, we're getting a couple questions specifically around the smart hashtag.
Okay.
Could that help simplify some search criteria? Could you apply the hashtag to search criteria like last 10 minutes or to a specific person in facial recognition?
Yes. So the answer is yes to all of those. And let me go through this and you will see. So right now I already add the hashtag spotted yellow car to this image, right? So it's saved here. Then let's say a few days later, I want to search for that particular image. I don't want to go through this whole list of 300 something results again. And I don't want to do yellow car again. Then I can do the search for hashtag. So there's it is spotted yellow car and just add and search and it returned the exact image that I have the hashtag for. So if we are the police departments and apply this hashtag to, for example, what you mentioned earlier, Doug, for a person, we want to search for a female, age, I don't know, 20 to 29, okay? Something like this, maybe wearing white. Oh, sorry, I need to add all of the cameras here. And then I want to say that this is just, I'm gonna look through all of the results, trying to find the person that I'm interested in and add a hashtag to her. So let's say target, just the normal hashtag like this. I can add as many hashtags as I need to. And maybe another person also should have this hashtag, maybe a potential target, okay? Then,
and what about that last 10-minute search criteria? It doesn't seem to me that can you save that search as opposed to saving that as a hashtag?
So that is something that we can do.
I don't want to get too bogged down in this because we got a lot of material to cover. But,
yes, the short answer is yes. But the point of the hashtag is to search for images that are already searched once before.
right.
Okay, to speed up the process the next times. Yeah.
So you could put that hashtag as, you could call
As
that
10 minutes, as
like
past 10 minutes.
woman in white, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Or like Jane Doe or something like that.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So let's move on to the next topic, which is this is the main big improvement in our release this time, improved face recognition. So as most of us now, when we go outside, we have to wear a mask. Being able to detect a face and recognize and match it to a target list is a very important thing with the person wearing mask. So for example, here the engine is trained so that it requires very little visible parts of the face. So here you see a face. This guy, he is partially covering his face with his hand, and the eyes are not very visibly shown, or the mask is here, but it's still correctly matching the face to the person. So our face recognition engine is right now ranked in the top 3 worldwide among the companies that are not China. And I want to stress that, like Doug mentioned earlier, our mission here is to contribute to the economy that are not China-based. Okay.
A
So,
couple more questions on the tags.
oh yes.
Will the hashtags expire at some point, or
No,
can they be pruned, or do we how do we manage them to avoid incorrect results?
it can be. It will not be removed as long as the data, the metadata are still in the system. So that's related to the data retention period of the device, like how much room is there to store data. How to prune it? You can edit the hashtag as you need to. It's just normal, like the hashtag on Instagram. You can delete or add them or make them as specific as necessary.
Right. So you can update them.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was mute. I think that part that the face recognition is one of the main engines in non-China branding. That's very, very important. Is there any source where we can show to the customers about this?
Contact us offline, okay, and we will share with you some more information if you need. We will also send you the slide deck here, right, Doug?
Absolutely.
Yes. So there are some information here, and if you want a specific comparison to another solution, we can go into more details about that.
Thank you, Maya.
Yes. So I also want to stress here that our solution is suitable for both access control type of deployment, for people to go through a door, so more control environment, and for face in the wild detection. So like searching for a person in a shopping center. As long as the face is high enough, resolution has enough details, then we can do the detection pretty with very good accuracy. So let's go into the demo for that one. And since we are already here, I'm gonna do a quick search of this person. She has a mask on, right? And we will see the power of the AI engine this time. So as you can see here, it correctly matches her to different instances. Most of them she has a mask on, she should, but in this case she doesn't have one, and it still matches her to correctly. If we look at the history here, we will see more instances of people wearing masks and at different angles. They don't have to be near the camera. Like in this case, she is quite far away. Okay. Mask wearing, and I'm trying to look for a like not completely face on, right? So if you have a customer that wants to test out this engine, please ask them to send us maybe a short video clip, and we will run the test to verify. All right. Do we have any question on this face recognition? Okay. Moving on to LPR. So our LPR in 4.1 is very good already. However, in 4.2, we improved it further, in particular for motorcycles detection. This is more applicable for Asia countries, but in the US, there are motorcycles, so this will be applicable as well. We can detect more instances, even though the motorcycle is smaller than the car, right? So the plate is smaller and a little more difficult to recognize, but just a note, is improved. User group and permission control. Previously, we only have user profiles individually. Now we can have user groups. So I hope that this is visible here to you. There are multiple groups that the admin user can create and assign control privileges for camera and analytic functions to each group. This will make it more efficient to assign those control management abilities so that you don't have to go through each account one by one. Vaidio app. We simplify our mobile app so that it allows for quick search for the results and also receive alert notification on the go. So previously we have a lot of different functions in the app. The app was a mobile view of our software in this case, where it's sectioned into face recognition, license plate recognition, and so forth. But in the new app, we have only 3 tabs here: video search to apply the search criteria and then see the results, and then the alert tab. Okay, so simplify for quicker usage. So do you guys have any questions before we move on to the calculators?
Right. Actually,
yeah.
we do. I think we do have an important question.
Yes.
There's a question about facial recognition, given the regulatory environment. For example, Oakland and San Francisco have already banned facial recognition's use with law enforcement. The entire state of Massachusetts is considering a ban. So I think it would be good to take a couple of minutes to talk about facial recognition with a database, facial recognition without a database, how facial recognition protects privacy. And I will turn that ball over to you. But the one thing I would say is that facial recognition is an extremely fundamental or foundational aspect of access control. So in access control applications, facial recognition does not have the same overtones as it does for law enforcement. And the other thing is facial recognition is also foundational to temperature screening for COVID health and social health analytics, meaning we need to be able to detect the face so that we can detect the forehead and accurately aim the thermal camera at that forehead area for accurate temperature measurement. And that needs to be able to, and that needs to be able to work in conjunction with face mask detection. So those three analytics, the detection of the face mask as an object, the face, the forehead, along with temperature, that's what allows us to create a viable, highly accurate, and highly effective temperature screening analytic and solution. So in that case, facial recognition is really serving a social purpose in terms of protecting health and safety for the community and our customers. So it's very nuanced. I'll turn the ball over to you to specifically talk about facial recognition and privacy protection in conjunction with law enforcement and using it with a database and without a database.
Thank you, Doug. That was beautifully explained. I believe the same thing. As you said, face recognition is very important and it can be used and is necessary to use in those cases. First of all, access control to enhance security and safety for the organizations. So in this case, for example, when the employees are consent to provide their face image in order to gain access to certain areas of the building, then it is, and we will correctly match the employees with their data so that we prevent people who shouldn't be there from being there. So the second thing is that if there is a need for searching for a person, like such as a missing child in the public area, that child is not saved in any database, and it will there is no information associated with them, so that their information is protected. Okay, so for example, if we were looking for a person, let's wait for the results to be populated here. Then we can search for that person without any information at all. Okay, so for example, in this case, let's say this image, she is not in the database, and we can search for her without revealing any of her personal information. There is also redaction capability in the Vaidio, so that if the security staff want to export a result, they can mask that video footage automatically without revealing any other information of people nearby. Okay.
That redaction and masking, I mean, can we set that to I mean, we should differentiate between our system, which analyzes the video, and the system that and the cameras that send the video, and the VMS that stores the video. So
yes.
is there a way that when we're doing the analytics, do we have the capability to mask the faces by default?
So the analytics, when it does its processing, it cannot mask it before doing the analytics, right? It has to receive the stream from the camera like normal, do the analytics like normal. But as the user, again, we control who can see that data that during the processing. So nobody has to see the face images coming in. The results that come out can be masked by Vaidio before it is distributed.
Right, mask before results are shown.
Yes, yes. Or it doesn't have to be shown at all. For example, it can, if it's like for access control to trigger a door, the device, the Vaidio will talk directly to the I/O device in order to open the door. There is no image showing in the process if there is no monitor to show it, right? Okay, so thank you, Doug. I hope that answered the question. And now I am going into the calculators. So as you remember when Paul was saying, we now have a new sales model where we separate the hardware from the software so that it allows you more flexibility in adding analytics to the system and placing the orders. So to assist you in that process, we have
Right.
developed.
Hey, Mai,
Oh yeah.
before we jump, is it possible to demo the redaction or mask before the results are shown in the Vaidio interface?
I would refer to using a demo video later because the redaction part takes some time, and
Okay.
yeah, we have only 15 minutes here.
Okay, so if
Yes,
we can get to that, we will.
yes, and please contact us if you are more interested in that section. Okay, so for the calculators, they are available in the partner resource page. And I hope that all of you here have access to our partner portal already. I have already logged into it, but you can find it in our homepage, IronYun.com. And if you go into the top right corner here, there's partner resources, and it will allow you to log in with your email and the password that you set up. So the calculators, yes?
Yes, anybody who hasn't gotten access to our partner portal, it's just a click of a button, and you'll get a link to set up your own unique password, and then you've got access to this. So if you haven't done it, or you're having complications, just let us know. But we encourage you to make use of this, and send us any questions if you have any issues.
Yes. Okay, so for the calculators, there are 3 of them. The appliance calculator is designed to tell you what appliance, what server is suitable for what you need. So for example, you can put in the number of cameras that will use certain analytics. Let's say I want to do 5 cameras with intrusion detection, 5 channels, okay? And maybe 3 channels of face recognition, 3 channels of LPR, 1 channels of people counting. You can put in as many as you like in this column. This is the input. And then you will see here on the result, the servers that will be able to support these analytics channels. So the result is 1 VSB 110 and 1 VSB 130. These are the 2 servers. They contain the, of course, the hardware and the core platform software to do all of the analytics and searches. We designed this calculator here to yield the most cost-efficient solution. So what that means is this is the most low-cost solution, and also the minimum requirement to support these channels. Okay. If you are interested in, for example, a rack mount server instead of a PC tower, then let us know. We will do the speccing for you. So again, this calculator, appliance calculator, is to show what appliance can support these analytics channels. The reverse of that is if you have an appliance already and you want to know how much how much capacity is being used and how much more you can add to the server. So in this case, use the capacity calculator, put in what server you have or are interested in, and then put in the analytics. So for example, if I want intrusion detection with PPE and I want 3 channels, then I see that it is only at 28% capacity. What if I want to add maybe 4 channels of LPR? Then it says over capacity here. So that tells me I should either decrease the number of channels here or maybe switch to a, if we decrease it, it's gonna be under capacity again. If we want to add something else to it, maybe a wheelchair detection, then that is still be able to support. Or maybe we need to go into a bigger server, okay? So something like this. Now it's quite low in like there's still a lot of room to add more analytics to it. So I hope this makes sense. So these two calculators, the capacity calculator and the appliance calculator, can be used depending on what you need to figure out. Then the third thing is the storage calculator. This is to determine what is the hard drive necessary for certain data retention. So for example, if you know that you need 4 channels of object left behind, 4 channels of smoke and fire detection, okay, maybe another 10 channels of LPR, and you want the data kept for 30 days, assuming that the camera has about 25% motion at the time, that is the typical value. I will recommend that. Then the server would need at least 4 terabytes of hard drive to store that data. Okay, so when we spec the system for you, we'll also take care of this. And if you forgot to do the storage calculator, we'll make sure to let you know how much data is necessary. How much data storage is necessary.
Mai, do we have assumptions around frame rates or resolution in these calculators?
Yes, we do. We assume that the resolution of these channels are 1080p. If you need higher resolution, please let us know so that we can do a different calculation. And the frame rate is preset in the in the Vaidio is for each analytic. But for the camera, we normally a 15 FPS is quite sufficient. Also, I would caution against too high resolution cameras, just because when you have a lot more pixels to analyze, it's going to take a lot more computing resources. So a 3 megapixel camera is okay, but if you go to like 4 or 5 megapixel or even 4K cameras, then I would recommend we take the second stream of the camera so that it's lower resolution and is still doing quite well, but it doesn't take as much computing resources. Or we would need a bigger box, a bigger server, and more hard drive. Okay.
So that allows you, that calculator and all of these calculators in general allow you to mix and match different analytics. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So how do we do the calculators specify, like, does every analytic require video search, Mai?
Yes, very good point, Doug. All of the analytics are built upon video search or object detection. So it comes with video search. So
So if I were to, so yeah, so if let's say we're doing something unique like weapons detection,
Mhm.
do you have to specify video search, or does the weapon detect when you select weapon detection? Does that analytic in the calculator have video search built in? So in other words, do you only have to, when you're using these calculators, do you only have to do the video search if you're using video search discretely?
So excellent point. There are there are several layers there, and I would say that for weapon detection, you can do video search. It will allow you to search for the weapon only, not for a vehicle, and to know what is included in what analytic. I will recommend going into the data sheets here, overviews, and look at the Vaidio cheat sheet. So this is a really nice list of um, what are included in each analytic function. So if we go down to the weapon detection, you will see that, um, oh, sorry, I think there is a version, oh yeah, right here, weapon detection. So it shows there is, of course, handgun and rifle detection. So you can search for handgun and rifle. You can search for a person, and you can do heat map. Um, but it doesn't include vehicle detection like intrusion detection. So make sure to check this list and then go into the calculator to um, find a server.
Okay, so I feel like we may have confused people with that a little bit. Um, so um, so if I want to do anything outside of weapon, person, or heat map, then I would also have to buy video search. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. But if I was just doing
If you were
weapon
doing face
detection by
recognition,
itself, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yes, yes,
I think that's a little bit more helpful.
yes. So we have 5 minutes remaining here. Do you guys have more questions?
Is there a way to unmute everybody?
And I will stop sharing screen if that helps.
Okay. I don't. Let me see.
We have quite a few in the chat box here.
Most of the Q&A have been answered. So that one's done. Virtualization's done. These are done. So Jacob or Paul, is there a way that we can unmute people and get some feedback, get some live feedback?
Yeah, I'm going through the command now. We have to do one at a time. So what I would suggest is if you have a question you'd like to ask live, can you just type in your request and I will enable you individually. Unfortunately, Zoom feature does not has a enable all function.
I think people can raise their hand as well.
Yes, if you just raise your hand and we will enable your audio.
I have a question. This is Eric Wood. Paul, you mentioned as a response to my question in the chat that you've got some resources for specs on the various devices in the partner portal. But as I'm not a partner, is there another way I could kind of look at those?
Yes, please send an email to me or anyone on this call, and we will forward you the information. Okay.
Appreciate that.
I think everybody is allowed to talk and unmuted right now. So you would have to unmute yourself to ask a question, I think.
Do we have speed coming up? Do we have speed detection, miles per hour?
Yes, absolutely. It's on our roadmap for 5.0 delivery.
What time frame about, Paul?
This will be in the first half of 2021.
Okay, cool.
What about fight detection?
Yes, good question. We do have requests for that on and off, and we can do fight detection with our R&D team. But the problem is in the real world testing, we find when we actually take it up for testing, the false positive rate is too high, especially in school situation where as you know, the kids always horse around there pretending they are fighting, and every time there's probably in actual school there's more pretend fights than actual real fight. And how to differentiate that is still very much a technical challenge. But if you have a very specific confined a conflict type request, we'll definitely take a look at it. But a generic fight is very, very difficult to get it to 95%. As you know, that we have the highest accuracy, and we like to maintain that any analytics that we release has to meet that criteria before we can go into production. Okay, but we will definitely welcome any kind of comments you have. But so far, we haven't gotten a very good handle on how to deal with the friendly gesturing issue with fight detection. Okay.
Right. Is it possible, are you working on audio analytics at this time? Might that be something that would be in combination?
Yes, the audio detection will be our first audio analytics will be released in the Q1 of next year. So if you have a specific audio request right now, the first release is gunshot detection. So we're currently doing the final qualification testing with a gunshot detector partner. And as we go forward, we will add more audio based. It could be somebody yelling for help in a schoolyard or in a hospital. So yes, as we go forward, we'll definitely include more of those type of analytics.
I have a question about it's more like a functionality on facial recognition. I've been asked this a couple of times, like, is there a way where the system can telling me if a person is showing up too many times in an area, so it can raise an alarm to the security department that is a suspect or something? Because let's say in a bank, for instance, is not common that a person is showing every day or maybe twice a day, so something like that.
Yeah, so you can do that currently, and we recommend the most accurate way of doing that is with face recognition, obviously. So what you can do is we do have fairly extensive API capability, as you know, or if you don't have that time or resource, we can talk to you about writing you a simple script. If a particular person gets detected 5 times within 2 hours, a trigger alert, that can be done outside of the main a function feature, and we can just write a simple API for that, script for that. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
About compatibility with VMS systems. I understand you have a team, you have a pipeline of different developments you have to attend to. Is there any indication about how long it would take as an average? How long would it take to have a new VMS API plugin developed?
Yes, good question. So on the integration of a generic VMS with, assuming the VMS has a REST API type capability, so far we average anywhere 4 to 6 weeks. I would say 6 weeks is probably a safe time considering we do have a backlog of activities to do. So if you have a particular platform, VMS platform that we currently do not support, send us that and provide us with a business case. And usually it's a business case. It's not the technical. We can today we already have integrated with well over a dozen different VMS platforms, as you know. So just let us know and we'll work with you to try to schedule it if there's a new VMS requirement.
Paul, do you have anything that you would like to tease about our Vaidio 5.0 release?
Man, I gotta tell you, I'm so excited looking at some of our engineering, our smart R&D, creative. I gotta tell you, obviously I'm biased when I say this, but I'm no longer in the day-to-day R&D team. I think I can say this with a little bit of unbiased comment, but I get so excited with some of the things that our R&D team plan to release next year. Right now, contrary to many companies, you can imagine like usually it's a CEO that pushes the product R&D team, say, hey, you got to do more feature releases. In this case, honest truth, it's our R&D team telling us, say, we got 20 new features that we want to release. So we want you to speed up the sales and marketing efforts. So give you a very specific example. This year, we did 4 major releases. So as you know, we did quarterly releases. Now, from our request from our R&D team, they got so many really exciting, and majority of them are absolutely leading leading really new applications and new features in the space. Now they want us to do bi-monthly releases. So next year, we're going to run hard and fast. Next year, we're going to do 2 releases per month. I mean, sorry, one releases every 2 months. And the majority of these releases are not bug fixes. They are major enhancements with really leading edge new features. So I'm really excited. So some of the a little bit of a teaser is one of the main one that we're going to be launching, other than some of the speed, the continuous refinement, adding new capability, is we will permit our partners to do their own object training. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Chew on it for a while. I think you'll find that very, very interesting. It will open up almost limited potentials with that statement. But I hope you just hanging there with us as I say that we will continue to release that as those type of feature and new products mature. Okay. So we'll wait over the 60 minutes, and I really thank you all to attend the AI forum, and wish you all a really happy, a great weekend, and please stay safe out there.